Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Virgo January 17, 2023. The moon in your sign at the start of the day encourages a spontaneous or casual approach. It's a time to avoid overthinking or overreaching. The moon's move out of your sign can help settle and ground you. You might enjoy making plans about family and home affairs or opening up conversations about or with family. It's a good time to reminisce and share memories. Decision-making is not necessarily straightforward today as you search within for answers and need more time to draw conclusions. However, without the pressure to push something forward, you find it enjoyable to take your time. As mighty Mars awakens in the sky, you'll feel a burst of gratitude. This means you could feel yourself lifting off from the ground like you're in an air balloon with your one and only. Adventures, long-distance travel, and a whole new level of wisdom may await you. This energy lasts until March 2023. If you're single, consider dating outside of your normal type, and you may be pleasantly surprised. Love can be especially magical when you don't stay within a cage that only limits who and what you can know. Be experimental. Do not overthink it. As the moon enters its fall, you might feel more financially vigilant than usual. The fall lunation will bring out some hidden fears, anxieties, and even secrets surrounding your personal financial matters. You might not feel as secure or stable as usual during this lunation. Since it can be emotionally rocky, you should focus on finding your power and control by doing what you do best during the moon in Scorpio: investigating. Look into the nuances of your financial matters from a place of confidence to see what your options are. On the same day that Uranus moves into his final 7 days in retrograde motion in your financial sector, the moon returns for its first visit to your income sector for the year. While they might be fighting for your attention as one wants you to look at money coming in and the other on what you do with and how you manage the money you have, the next few days will give you a better read on both. The more honest you can be with yourself, the more chance you will have to accomplish your goals. Give in to expressing the doubts you have about your ability to follow through, and you will sooner find a companion to exercise with, even if it's via video chat. Talk openly about your issues with food and you will become privy to approaches and strategies that would otherwise have eluded you for too long. Whatever you keep inside due to fear of ridicule or exposure will surface eventually. You will find, however, that the truth will set you free. You are not the only person in the world who carries these issues with them. On this day, your reflective nature may take you on a trip down memory lane. Why try to put on the brakes? 6 days have a tendency to be filled with nostalgia. Indulge yourself by contemplating the dynamics of your family of origin. Like all of us, if you do not know the whole story of how your parents met and eventually got married, you may have questions that you want to ask. By all means, do so if you have the opportunity. As the moon leaves Libra today, this not only wraps up its first visit for the year but its first alignment with the dwarf planet Ceres since her return last month. The moon was in Libra when Ceres returned last month to begin her first deep dive into your needs and priorities in 4 years, but too late to connect. It was a different story this time, with the moon leaving you more emotionally engaged and more connected with your needs and priorities. Due to the timing, this is likely to also leave you with a better read on what your heart is telling you and of a need for more adventure in your life. As the moon wraps up its first visit to Libra for the year, it not only leaves you more emotionally engaged but with both romantic and relationship matters more engaged. This was not just the moon's only visit while Venus, the planet of love, is in your romantic sector, but the first since Jupiter's return to your relationship sector, and it gave you a better read on both over the last few days. Our eyes in the sky. The Libra moon squares Pluto in Capricorn early in the day, creating power dynamics and struggles with others. This is a moment when arguments can occur, because we feel it's important to assert our beliefs and be heard. Later, the moon enters Scorpio and shares a minor frustration with Jupiter in Aries, heightening passions and taking matters to the extreme. You get on famously with everyone you meet, and it appears you are friendlier than ever. Your helpful and obliging nature encourages others to be ready to lend a hand and be especially keen to return your kindnesses. Now is a good time to introduce yourself to a potential employer or enter important discussions, which ultimately turn out well. Slow down. With all the activities you're involved in, both your mind and body need more relaxation than you're allowing them. Listen to your body, and do something good for your health. Pay more attention to the balance between activity, relaxation, and pleasure. A deep tissue massage often works wonders. If you plan to make some financial transactions, wait a little and think things over at your leisure. There are some obstacles in the way that prevent the matter being handled as smoothly as you imagined. Even though you'd like to buy something, far better to wait if you want a favorable outcome. The people you talk to are considerate, and any social occasion provides you and everybody who attend with a wonderful experience, where you can enjoy a convivial atmosphere and pleasant company. In such a relaxed atmosphere, the chances are that you make new friends. It is also possible for you to renew old friendships. Just after midnight, the Libra moon squares off with Pluto in Capricorn, provoking erratic behavior. As many of us will be asleep at this hour, this influence can manifest in unsettling dreams or even nightmares. Pay attention to whatever arises in these visions, as they can be cathartic. A confrontation with latent fears will allow us to exorcise whatever unconscious anxieties are festering in our minds. Unhealthy behaviors we commit to dealing with head-on following this transit can be purged from our lives. Following this, the moon enters a void period lasting until the morning. You're resourceful and happy to spend time on improving your appearance and behaving as well as you possibly can. You feel affectionate towards those closest to you, or if single, your positive attitude has a marked effect on the way you respond. Not feeling like anything too physically demanding, you prefer a good time in pleasant surroundings. Exercise self-control and don't make agreements without first thinking them through. Otherwise, you could get involved in unnecessary disagreements. You may receive an offer from someone you find attractive, but don't be too upset if it doesn't go your way. Feeling restless, you may resort to overeating but must resist the temptation to overindulge. Be careful with your health and avoid pushing yourself too far. Circumstances sometimes result in greater difficulties arising than you might expect, and for this reason you need to save and ration your energy. Take a step back, don't get unduly stressed. Being too ambitious doesn't help you achieve your goal. Before sunup, the moon enters Scorpio, ending its void of course. Although we may have struggled with a bad night's sleep, awakening into a Scorpio lunar period provides us with the emotional fortitude to handle our problems. Instead of repressing what has been revealed, we have the means to confront it over the next 2 days. We are now equipped to dig into our psychological workings without running away from what we discover.